Hello, moms.
Welcome to the Mommunity Podcast. I'm Kimberly King, a child safety expert, a kindergarten teacher, mom of three, and the author of the book I Said No and the coming soon book Body Safety for Young Children. And this is my friend Diane.
Hi, I'm Diane Tarantini. I'm a mom, a grandmom, child safety educator, and author of the child safety book, The Brave Knight. I'm also a survivor of child sexual abuse. Together with you,
We are Mommunity.
dedicated to helping you navigate the tough topics of motherhood, one 15-minute bite at a time.
So Diane, it's our first episode, our first recording. So I think it would be really important to let people know a little bit more about us and our why. So I'm going to throw that to you. What is your why behind body safety?
Okay, so as a survivor of child sexual abuse, I know the damage it can do over a lifetime. As such, it is totally my goal to keep as many kids as possible from having to experience that. What about you?
Pretty much the same thing. I am a survivor of sexual assault turned body safety advocate and educator. And my why is once this affected my child, it triggered memories from my childhood. And so much of this is preventable. I think that many people quote the statistic of 95% of body safety violations and abuse can be prevented. So we have to talk about it. And so that's why we are here today, to help moms really get empowered and talk about this topic without any fear, to build their confidence.
Totally. And we know we call it Mommunity, but it takes a village to raise a child. So, like, we know there's tons of people that have the ability to speak into the life of a child and to protect them and prevent child sexual abuse. So, if you're not a mom, it's okay. We've got you covered.
It's okay. And I think our goal here is to make this authentic, approachable, and manageable, so that you're not overwhelmed with 5,000 statistics and you don't get scared and then stuck and do nothing. So that's why we are going to provide you with one talking topic and a little safety snack to take with you.
Yes, everybody loves snacks, kids and adults.
Exactly. You know, we should have snacks next time.
Oh, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. I know that there are, and this even applies in my own life, I interface with organizations that focus on equipping parents and caregivers. And there are organizations that say, just let the kids protect themselves. Like, what do you think is the best approach?
That's a really good question. I'm kind of down the middle on that, because I get a little annoyed with the folks who say, like, oh, it's sexual abuse is it's a parent's responsibility, and we can't, give kids books and expect them to defend themselves against predators. I agree with that, but I also think we can't just give kids nothing, and there has to be conversations and communication within the family about body safety, because if you're not empowering your kids and educating them, they become a very attractive target, and nobody wants that. So we have to do both. And that's
Yes.
what I think we're similar in that aspect, which we both have children's books and we both do body safety for kids. And we're branching into talking to the adults in the room.
Yeah, I definitely believe that in a perfect world, parents would keep their kids safe. But I know from the work I do, I go into schools and I do body safety assemblies, that it's not always the case. Not all parents are super involved, and it's not necessarily their fault. Like, if a single mother has multiple jobs in order to put food on the table, there's going to be times when that child does not have adult eyes on them. And I think that's when it's really important for those kids to know right from wrong. And I've heard this string of words before: recognize, resist, and report.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great tidbit right there, Diane.
Yeah. So some people, I don't even know if they recognize the scope of the issue. I know you're a darkness to light training facilitator. Can you give us like a couple statistics that might really make it very concrete?
Yeah, I think so. For me, one of the biggest, most surprising things that come across all the time is that parents, because they just don't know yet, parents still think that the biggest risk is, the stranger danger, the my child's going to be kidnapped if they're walking down the street, or, some creepy guy is going to molest them in the park and all of that. So that's one thing that's real easy to dispel just by looking at the research. So we know that 90% of child sexual abuse happens within our inner circle of trust, the people we already know, already trust. New statistic that just came out is that there's a bigger risk with children, child to child sexual abuse.
Yes.
And that's one thing I thought we could really talk about today, is dispelling these myths, because when you understand the risk, you can take action to avoid it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that when I first started as a body safety educator, the number out of darkness to light was 40%
Yeah.
of child sexual abuse incidents will be child on child. And then last fall, when I attended the virtual Darkness to Light conference, I heard like 3 different times them saying 70%.
Yeah,
And we're definitely going to talk about this
we will.
and how you can kind of prevent that from happening to your child. But I think, like, if you were to ask me what keeps me up at night,
Yeah.
that's probably one of the top things, is child on child sexual abuse.
Yeah. And that is probably the most preventable area, because kids being empowered with this education and parents being empowered to know like how to prevent it, just by taking different steps as they watch their children, as they monitor, not leaving kids alone in the room unsupervised. It encompasses a huge amount, and we will dig into that. We're going to be talking about little specific topics every week. And so when we start talking, more things come up and more things come up, and it kind of is like a ripple effect, right? There's so much to talk about here.
Yeah, I love what you just did. And I think it should perhaps be our goal going forward. We presented a problem and you presented a solution. And when you have a solution, there's hope.
Right.
So I think that should always be the goal, to say, this is a problem and these are things that you can do to prevent it. I don't think it was last fall. I think it was 2021. The tagline for the Darkness to Light conference was "Prevention is possible." I use it all the time in my
Yeah.
social media posts. Hashtag prevention is possible. That is hope.
Absolutely.
You
And
know,
it's
the
true.
cleanup prevention is so much better than cleaning it up, right?
It is. I mean, that's a whole nother topic of like, just imagine, based on what we know and the trauma that we've personally been through. That's why it is, and we know it's preventable. That's why we're here, right? That's why we're
Yeah.
here to talk about prevention, and we want to make it light, clear, and give everybody action steps to take
Yeah.
when they are done listening.
Yeah, it's, you know what? It's going to be like homework.
It is going to be like
We're going to
homework.
be assigning homework. Like, here's one thing you can do this week. Just give it a try. See if it
Yeah.
works for you and your child, you and your family. Yeah, so you're going to get a snack and homework. So you
Like
can,
we're back at school, Diane.
yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited that you're a kindergarten teacher.
I know, it's so
Or
fun. I'm not
yeah.
teaching this year, but
Yeah.
I retired from teaching this year to focus on books and podcasting, and just more speaking and teaching and being more
Right.
engaged in the space. But I love that age group, because when you're 4 or 5 years old, you're smart enough to know that certain things are right and certain things are wrong, and you're able to learn strategies and problem solve, and you can still have fun doing it. So it's like the perfect age to start talking about this. But also, it's never too late is the other thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
to a point where like maybe your child's 11 and you've never heard of body safety before. That's okay too. You work with those kids.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So I often say that I'm one of those odd individuals that got tapped on the shoulder by the middle school fairy. Like a lot of people find that demographic, that age group, really difficult to work with, but I love it because maybe I still feel like I'm 14 on the inside, but I will sing, I will dance, I will just do crazy stuff, whatever it takes. I mean, I'm just committed. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah.
I am committed to doing whatever it takes to drive the point home to whatever audience we're talking to, the grown-ups or the kids. Yeah. And
100%.
whether I might be being 100% honest or I might be being 100% goofy. But that I often bring listeners, like trained volunteers, to my body safety assemblies, and they literally tell me, Diane, the more honest you are, the more you share from your life and your own experience, that's when, oh my goodness, they'll see girls tear up.
Oh.
And that's when oh, God bless that. It's probably happening to her.
Yeah.
Or you just see like, when I talk about some of the things that we're going to talk about on the show,
Yeah.
that affect teen boys.
Yeah, there's so much.
It makes them sit up and notice if you're honest, if you don't sugarcoat.
Yep.
If you don't, I call it blue sky, and when you just like paint a prettier picture than it actually is.
Right. So I guess like our point with the Mommunity Podcast is we want to give you all of these really important tips and tools so that you can integrate them into your families, into your classrooms, into your communities, and create a ripple effect to literally get to more people, to empower more people.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about a lot of topics, and at the end of every show, we wanted to provide you with we mentioned it before, with a little safety snack. So today we talked a little bit about myths and we talked a little bit about statistics. So Diane, what would you say would be like the perfect exit safety snack for our parents and teachers and listeners today?
My advice to parents, caregivers, anybody who loves kids is pay attention. Pay attention, and that can look like supervision, supervision of who your child is with, where, and also their behavior. I know that's probably a different topic for a different day, but just be aware. Don't be in your own little world.
Yeah, I love that. That's the one thing that in the darkness to light training, like the underlining hashtag or like subtitle is always that child sexual abuse can happen with two things, right? Time and opportunity. So if your child is with an adult or another child and they're unsupervised and that person has time and opportunity with your child, well, then you're creating a situation where there's risk. So we can eliminate these risks by supervising.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've not heard that. That's awesome. Time and opportunity. Yeah, and be aware.
Time and opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost to the 1 minute warning mark. Where can people find you, Kim?
Sure. So I'm on Tough Topics Mom on Instagram, and my website is kimberlykingbooks.com. And I have all of my books and classes and things on there. And I love to just chat with parents and teachers on, how to integrate these strategies into their homes and classrooms. So I encourage everybody just to come reach out, follow me, and we will get to know each other. What about you, Diane?
So I have a website with a blog on it, and the address for that is dianetarantini.com. And on most of the socials, I'm writing Diane T. We're both on Pinterest, and you can get a ton of resources at Kimberly King author and Diane Tarantini author. Is that? We can put it in the
yeah, we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
I think I'm Tough Topics Mom. I just changed it.
Yeah, but I think our blogs both have a wealth of knowledge. So that's, if you want to like get ahead in class, you could totally go and read some articles. If you want to find out more about us, if you want to book us for an event, yeah, reach out to us on DM us or send us an email through our websites. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also if you have any questions, you can
Oh,
also
yeah.
reach us for questions on Instagram. Just send us the DM.
Yeah.
And we are going to be looking to you to find out like what you want to see in this show as well. So please reach out and let us know if you have questions or what things you're struggling with.
Yeah. And we
Right.
want to have guests at some point, correct?
Yes, I think we're going to shoot for once a month. Did we say?
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be building our guest speaking spots and can't wait to share all these new resources with you.
Awesome. Okay.
So
Time to go.
farewell from the Mommunity Podcast.
Yeah. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye. Okay, stop recording.